Join me for part 4 as we conclude our interview with Sifu Richard Torres and his Bruce Lee journey as we continue our discussion on the evolution of Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do, his study of Bruce Lee's art, and of course, we will take you on a room tour of one of Richard Torres's incredible Bruce Lee collection rooms and much, much more. Enjoy.
I don't mean as far as relationship is concerned. It's more as the one who learned Bruce Lee's technique.
I think Ted One was up there. Herb Jackson was there too, because Herb Jackson was Bruce Lee's handyman. Anything Bruce Lee needed in the house, Herb Jackson was fixing it.
Right.
He also built equipment for Bruce.
Right, but I don't want him. We're not gonna say that he would be Bruce Lee's #2 rank student. Just because he built.
But what I'm
talking
saying
about
is,
as far as learning.
that Herb Jackson and Ted One were always in the backyard training together with Bruce Lee.
Okay. Okay.
Because the way Bruce Lee paid him back, was to give him private lessons.
Lessons, right?
In the yard.
Yeah.
So you would say Taki Kimura is the #1 ranked student?
Highest rank.
So the highest rank.
Because that's when Bruce was giving out ranks too, right? At the time, so I think Taki has the most ranks, right?
Yes.
But where does Dan fall into that then?
Right. I was gonna say who's second and who's third.
Dan, he actually was at the beginning stage of formulating the Jeet Kune Do with Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Not that he formulated it, but he was there when Bruce Lee was formulating it. It wasn't like they were both together, because people say he's the co-founder. Like, you'll have some people say James Lee was the co-founder of Jeet Kune Do, and some people say, no, Daniel Santa was the co-founder. No, Bruce Lee was the founder of Jeet Kune Do. They were just there. And he was bouncing back at them, because, I mean, if you want to do that, then you're going to have to say Ted One was the co-founder too, because he was bouncing off him too.
Right.
You know? So,
and Bruce, I heard, learned a lot of, he used a lot of these guys so that he can continue to learn and develop his art, right?
Well, he needed sparring partners.
He needed sparring partners.
That's why he would go there Sundays to spar them.
Yeah, yeah.
But to be the greatest, you got to fight the greatest. The greatest. I mean, the great. To be the greatest.
But you had good fighters. Bob Bremer was pretty tough, and Daniel Lee were the.
I love Joe Louis.
Two tough guys.
Yeah.
Joe Louis was the man.
I'm talking about the school.
Oh, the school, yeah. But as fighters, if you would tell me who do I think is, I mean, my opinion doesn't really matter. But if you ask me who do I think Bruce Lee's best student was, to me I would say Joe Louis.
Well, Joe
because he was heavyweight champion.
Yeah, and he was actually out there doing it at the time.
He was vicious, man. This guy, his style was very much like Bruce Lee.
Joe Louis was already up there before he met Bruce.
Yeah,
but he got better.
He got better
because of Jeet Kune Do.
He got better because of Jeet Kune Do, as far as getting the boxing and the movement concerned.
And the interception, you could see that how he was using interception.
He was like a blonde Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
but he wasn't learning Jeet Kune Do as a whole. He was learning Jeet Kune Do that he could use
in the fighting game.
Yeah, just the parts that he could benefit from for the tournament fighting he was doing at the time.
But I love the way his style was like, man.
But he was a tough guy.
He was.
Yeah.
In fact, when I met Joe Louis, I met him many times. I told myself,
may he rest in peace.
Yes. How can he and Bruce Lee get along? Because they both
they're so much alike.
They have that alpha
male.
Oh yes.
Male testosterone attitude that is very hard for two people like that to get along as friends.
Yeah.
And then later on, Joe Louis came out and said, we had our difference.
Yeah.
And Bruce Lee called him up and told him off or something.
You know what I always said? I always said that Joe Louis was actually Bruce Lee. People say that Bruce Lee never competed.
Right.
All right, he never competed.
He sparred Chuck Norris and Joe Louis.
Right. There's a lot of people out there, they want to discredit Bruce Lee because he never competed in competition.
Yep.
But if you ask me, Bruce Lee actually did. And he competed through Joe Louis. Because when you see Joe Louis fighting, it's Bruce Lee fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect what Richard just said. Of course, he was already an established fighter, Joe Louis, and a champion.
Joe Louis was the top karate champ when he trained with Bruce Lee.
I was a student of his. There are a number of people, very famous fighters, who won't admit that Bruce actually trained him.
After he trained with the Little Dragon, Joe went on to win an unheard of 11 consecutive grand championships.
But when he learned from Bruce Lee, he became unstoppable.
You can see the strategy he was using was Bruce Lee's strategy of interception, the way he threw his sidekick.
That's right.
You could see it. You could see he emulated what Bruce was showing him at the time in the ring.
BruceLee was too busy wanting to become a super actor, the way he said it, right? So you and me, he was going to become a star, right? But I believe that Bruce Lee did compete through Joe Louis.
Well, Bruce Lee sparred a lot of the guys that were competing.
Right.
Not just Joe Louis, Chuck Norris. He sparred Louis Delgado. Louis Delgado beat Chuck Norris in the East Coast.
Louis Delgado, may he rest in peace.
And he's
an amazing Puerto Rican fighter.
Yeah, Tony Santiago talks about
that's how Bruce Lee learned the kicks.
I know. From
some of the
Delgado.
spinning kicks.
It's almost exact.
He moved to California, Louis. And then Bruce, of course, gets his camera to video him because he has some great kicks.
Oh,
and
what?
Then if you see Louis
I told you that.
People thought it was Bruce Lee.
Yeah. And then you watch Bruce and Enter the Dragon, it's the same series of kicks.
The same thing.
I told you that.
Yeah.
In the last interview.
one, it's the same series of kicks.
When you see Louis Delgado doing as a combinations, Bruce Lee did the same thing in Enter the Dragon.
To Han, when he's chasing Han, it's the same exact combinations.
Let me tell Delgado, who used to live here in Brooklyn, Delgado was there and Bruce Lee copied
those kicks.
His kicks.
I saw those. I think I saw that footage on YouTube. Yeah.
One more time. We'll do it 2 more times. One I will fold off everybody and then I will send on you. Go
ahead.
I got a ton.
You can see, I think in Enter the Dragon where Bruce Lee does that combination of kicks. Yeah, the same combination.
It's the same combination that Delgado was doing.
And he kept
Louis Delgado. Louis Delgado, I wanted to meet him. He was living in Brooklyn, and I didn't get to meet him. He passed away.
Let me tell you, I heard about Louis Delgado from Ron Van Cleef.
Yep.
From Charles Bonnet, Charles La Pantera Bonnet, and bro, let me tell you something about Louis Delgado. He's this little Puerto Rican guy from the hood, from the neighborhood. He became such an amazing martial artist that even Bruce Lee was in awe.
Yeah.
And
that's why he videoed him.
And he was in his backyard, right? He invited him to his house.
Bro, nobody. Let me tell you, man, Louis Delgado, he destroyed the best fighters in the tournament scene.
Bruce wanted to learn those kicks.
But Louis Delgado said he sparred Bruce Lee. And he said he's never met anyone who bewildered him like Bruce Lee.
Yeah. Hey, he gave Bruce Lee respect.
He said he sparred Bruce and he says he couldn't beat him.
It's unlike Vic Moore that says that he actually fought Bruce Lee.
Oh yeah, and then he beat him.
No. That's how Louis Delgado said he was sincere.
He said in an interview, I think it would have been in Karate Illustrated, I believe. Yeah. But he said he sparred Bruce Lee. He said I never met anyone like Bruce. He said I sparred and he bewildered me. I think Bruce was using the 5 ways of attack, wow. And he confused the hell out of him.
I'm friends with Louis Delgado's brother.
Oh, are you really? Yeah. Well, people don't realize how good Bruce really was.
You got to meet Louis Delgado?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, already baldy and short.
Nice. Before he passed away, right?
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
But his brother is very proud of Louis.
It just confirms how Bruce was the real deal. People
so he was sparring guys that were in tournaments.
Yeah.
He was sparring them at home or wherever in the backyard.
Yeah. And meanwhile, they all raved about how good he was. Yes. Joe Louis said it. Delgado said it. Chuck Norris says it in an undermining way,
Chuck
right?
Has to give himself
the most of the credit. Yeah. He says Bruce was good, but he always leaves that little opening.
I'm a fighter.
But I'm a fighter.
Bruce Lee wasn't a fighter.
Right. Yeah, I was a professional fighter at the time.
But
Bruce was good, but I was a professional fighter.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he's got.
He never gives the 100% credit, like Joe Louis did, right? Yeah. He said he was the greatest, the best I've ever seen.
He had blinding speed, especially with his hands. And I know that's because he stood in front of me and he popped me a few times. So I've always told people, I know how hard Bruce Lee could hit. I know how fast he was because he nailed me. And I've always told people, I know what real Jeet Kune Do was because I got popped with it a few times. I considered him by far the greatest, and for those who don't consider him the greatest, at least he would be the top candidate for being he who would actually be the greatest.
Jim Kelly said the same thing.
Jim Kelly said the same thing.
Yeah.
Best martial artist out there.
Yeah.
But Chuck could never give the full 100% endorsement that he was the greatest ever, because I was the professional fighter.
Nah, man. You gotta tell. If it's white, you say white. If it's black, you say black. Bob Wall told me personally that the reason Bruce Lee liked to use him in the movies was because Bob Wall was the only guy that was willing to let Bruce kick him in the groin.
Yeah. Because he actually hit Bob in the movie, right?
In the groin.
You know, Bob Wall was an opportunist.
Yes.
Because Chuck Norris was going to go to Hong Kong to do Way of the Dragon.
I heard that story.
And Bob Wall said,
He just showed up.
Where are you going, Chuck? He's like, I'm going to Hong Kong because Bruce is to do a movie with Bruce.
I'm coming with you.
Well, you're doing
He
that.
just showed up.
I'm going with you.
Yeah,
Uninvited.
Uninvited.
But you know what? He did the right thing.
Bruce was like, what is he
did the
doing
right thing
here, right?
Because he's in more movies than Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
So he's got Way of the Dragon. What is it? Enter the Dragon, Game of Death.
So Bruce Lee saw him and said, Bob, what are you doing here? And he said, I just came to keep Chuck company. He said, well, if you're going to be here, you're going to be in my movie.
And then, he was an opportunist, man. He was the salesman, that guy. He knew how to get himself out there.
Oh, indeed.
Bob was a great salesman.
So because he took advantage of the opportunity, he said, I wasn't invited, but I'm going anyway.
And he even talks about how good he made Bruce look, because he said, hit me, Bruce, right?
Yeah.
I'll take the hits. So that's why Bruce's fights also look so realistic, right? When he fought with Bob
with the
Wall.
back fist and his head moved back.
Yeah. It was like
crazy.
It's like he was like a dummy.
Like a dummy, but
remember when he was
that's
flirting?
why the fights look so real.
Yeah. Remember when he was flirting with my wife?
Yeah, at the convention.
I told him, take it easy. I'm going to kick you in the balls.
Bob Wall.
May he rest in peace also, man. We lost a lot of the greats,
rest in
man.
peace. Yeah, man.
We lost a lot of the greats.
Sheesh. All these, it's, wow, they're all passing away,
I know.
So, going back to all that lineage stuff.
Yeah, you have some story there, Richard, man. I mean, we could probably interview you for another week.
That's a lot of fun listening to.
Oh, man, it really is. You have some great stories.
And now I have my school, yes.
Yeah, and now you how long you have the school now, the JKD School?
Over 28 years.
Wow.
28 years.
Tell people where it's at. What's the address to your school?
It's in Fishkill, New York. Just Google Jeet Kune Do Martial Arts Institute, Fishkill, New York, and you'll find it.
Yeah,
I'll give you 5 to 1.
Yeah, and we've been there, and he has a great school. And if those of you are in the neighborhood and want to visit, and you're still taking students into the school, you'll be getting.
That's a great place.
Learning JKD from a great source, and Richard's been, you've trained and met some of the greats out there, man, in your journey and Bruce Lee's story.
Because of the nucleus, I was able to train with
almost all of them.
All of them, yeah.
I met Leo Fung in your school.
Yeah.
Leo Fung. I met also James Yim Lee's son.
Yes.
Gregory.
Leo Fung and I got very, very close too.
May he rest in peace.
Yes. He sent me a bunch of letters too. I have a lot of letters of Bruce Lee too.
Yeah, you really had some journey, man.
Crazy,
you met, all the first generation students, a lot of the Lee family, and Brandon Lee, Shannon Lee, Linda Lee, and
Richard, now that you say Shannon Lee, tell us a story about that book that Shannon put out. She actually got the idea from you.
Yeah, The Treasures of Bruce Lee.
Yes.
Treasures of Bruce Lee, that's it, right.
The Treasures of Bruce Lee, yeah. We were in another convention, I don't know where it was, maybe LA or Seattle. And what happened was I purchased a book of Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
And it was The Treasures of Elvis Presley. And you open it up and it's got his tickets for his, concerts.
Aloha, Hawaii.
Letters. Elvis wrote
the movie posters.
Posters. And I said, wow, this is great. So I said they should do this for Bruce Lee. So I said I'm going to take this book to Shannon. So when I saw her, I think it was
awesome.
No, I know where it was.
That's
it was
cool.
in San Francisco. We were in San Francisco, and I saw her and I said, Shannon, I want to give you this book. And she said, Richard, I don't have time to read. And I said, no, I don't want you to read the book. I said, hold on to the book. When I see you again, just give it back to me. But I want you to look at this book and do the same book for your father. And she went, okay. and she took the book, and I guess it opened her eyes too, and she went, "Whoa!"
Mm-hmm.
And then she kept the book for 3 years.
Did
Every
she
time
really?
I saw her, I said, "Shannon, do you have my book?" She goes, "Richard, I'm still holding on to it because we're still looking into it and blah blah blah."
I'm gonna be
And then I
doing
saw her
the
another year.
Give me my book.
I
Give
said,
me my
"Shannon,
book back."
Shannon, do you have my book?" "Oh, Richard, I'm still holding it." 3 years, but I got it. She gave it back to me.
Good. Did she sign it?
And then no, the Elvis Presley book.
Oh, okay.
She gave it back to me. And
But
then,
did she sign the Elvis Presley book too?
No, she signed her book.
So did she at least give you a copy of the Bruce Lee Treasures book when she did it? Did you gave it the idea?
I don't think so.
Oh God!
But she did sign. She did. Once I got it, she did sign it to me.
Okay.
She signed me the book. So.
Yeah, that was a great book that came out.
Yeah,
the
I have
Bruce Lee
it. I have
Treasures.
it.
And
she
you
autographed it.
have them in like all different versions from Japan,
Korea.
you have them in all different languages too, right?
Yeah.
For those of you who haven't gotten the Treasures book, I mean, you can still purchase it. It's all over Amazon now, right? Or is that a print now?
Yeah,
that's a
you
great
can
book.
find it on
Oh,
eBay.
yeah.
Yeah, you can find it on eBay.
eBay's got it for like maybe 30, 40
Yeah,
bucks.
yeah, it's a great book. If you guys don't have it, you should pick that up. That's
In
a
fact, some person was taking the little treasures out and selling them on eBay
as
As original items.
Bruce Lee booklet, Bruce Lee poster, Bruce Lee.
Because the
Oh,
business
yeah.
cards are in there, the
Yeah.
membership cards are in there, and they look real.
They
Like,
look
there's
real.
nice copies
I mean,
of
if you-
them.
if
But what they
see
don't
them
realize,
close,
what they don't
you can take
realize
a copy.
is that
Yeah.
in the back it tells you.
Right, that they're reprinted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's funny.
I almost bought a 1967 poster when Bruce Lee did an exhibit in Madison Square Garden.
Yes. That's in the treasure book.
And that actually came from the book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I almost bought it, almost. But then the seller told me it was from the book.
Yeah. Well, this is good. I think if we don't end here, we'll never get to the other episodes because I wanna get to some of the episodes where you show your your top 10 collectibles from back in the 70s and which ones were the first ones you picked up, and I want to get a chance to walk around your 3 Bruce Lee rooms and film some so we could show the fans out there because they really wanted to see an update, and like I said, you've really expanded. Heck, is this like double the size from when we were here last? Maybe? Triple. And you have probably double the amount of stuff.
Yeah.
How many display cases you got? Like, have you counted them?
Oh my God! It's
it's like
endless. But we'll go around and see that, man.
this is crazy.
It's crazy. But anyway, I want to thank you for your time today, man. This was a great episode, and Hector, thank you for
Charlie,
joining
anytime.
in
Richard.
as well, man.
Thank you, bro.
And yeah, I just want to say thanks for joining us, guys. We're gonna sign out now with Richard Torres and Hector Martinez, saying, as always, have fun collecting, and we'll see you guys soon.
Enjoy.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy the room tour through one of Richard Torres's Bruce Lee collection rooms. tuned for more Bruce Lee room tours from the Bruce Lee collection of Sifu Richard Torres, coming soon.